Hi YouTube! So, I'm not sure if this is going to be an intro, if this is an outro, but I am here on the Pride of America cruise ship. I've been going around the different Hawaiian islands. Due to all the different COVID delays of taking this cruise, we have been able to accumulate enough percentage upgrades that we actually upgraded from a regular balcony room to a suite room, and that came with a lot of perks in and of itself that I don't think that we were necessarily aware with, because my husband and I had never cruised on a cruise ship in a suite. So I do want to take a second to talk about that, and then you'll see a lot of video footage over what we've done. Now, with the suite, first off, you get priority boarding as well as priority disembarkment. So that was a very nice service to get to have, because it just made things a little bit more flexible for us. And that is one of the big things about Norwegian Cruise Line, is that they are huge on having flexible cruising. So if you want things planned, you can do that. If you want things on your own, you can do that. There are no set dining times except in the specialty restaurants where you need to make a reservation. On our particular cruise, because so many of the restaurants that people had previously booked were just not available on this cruise, they actually canceled all of the pre-booked dining reservations. But as a suite member, we got priority booking. So when that letter came out, as a suite member, we were actually able to go ahead and book our dining for Jefferson's and for Cagney's, and that allowed us to actually be able to use both of our dining options at a time that was convenient for us. So on the first day, even before we had left on the ship, and people who were not in a suite did not have the ability to make reservations until they were on board the ship, by about 2 p.m. that afternoon, keep in mind, people were not really being let on the ship until noon. By 2 p.m., there was virtually no availability, and if there was, it was very late. So that was a huge benefit to us, because we were able to utilize our dining package in a way that we couldn't have done without being a suite member. One of the neat food features is that, first off, room service, totally complimentary off the room service menu. We have had fresh fruit and some small snacks that have been brought to us every day by our butler that were here waiting for us when we got back in the room. I happened to mention to her how delicious the red grapes were on the first day, and so she made sure that I always had a bowl of fresh red grapes, which I personally really appreciated. And I think that that's the big difference about the suites, is that the cruise is even more tailored to you than how you could do on your own, because you do have this personal service. Additionally, as a suite member, not a suite member, as a suite guest, we were able to have breakfast and lunch daily in Cagney's for free, which is their steakhouse on board the ship. Now, we really didn't take advantage of this, as my husband's not a big breakfast eater. I have a protein bar that I eat every single morning, and so we didn't take advantage of that as much as we could have, but you certainly have the ability to eat very nice dining. The other thing, normally suite guests will be given a officer's dinner, so you'll have dinner with the captain and the different officers on board the ship, which I was really excited for that, because I was really wanting the opportunity to talk to the chief accountant on board the cruise ship. But unfortunately, because COVID is still going on, that dinner is not something that they're doing right now, but they hope to resume in the future. Now, on some Norwegian ships, they have what is called the Haven, so you as a suite guest are actually totally secluded from everybody else. Pride of America does not have that. That's something for the newer built ships, but the experience is still the same. We have had a wonderful time on this cruise, and I cannot wait for you guys to see all the amazing things that we did. I'll have all the details on where we did these activities through, and if I can find what we paid for them, because this has been a trip 2 years in the making. It is both our honeymoon and our second anniversary. I will try to put those in there as well. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. Bye!
So we were in suite 10,008. You will see our walk-in closet. We had a Keurig, I'm sorry, not a Keurig, an espresso. Then our bed, the ample room for seating inside. And then the best feature of the suite, in my opinion, is the massive deck area. We ate out here and also read out here quite often. Then just back through the room to show you the bathroom. And the shower was quite large for a cruise ship shower. And then this is just the lei that I received, which was actually made of fresh flowers. Now the men did not get leis that were quite as nice. And then just another view of the closet. The first 2 days of the cruise are on Maui, and we spent the first day doing the road to Hana. If you look, you can see the Jurassic Park rock in the photos here. And then this was just a lovely waterfall view from the same botanical garden where we were able to see the rock, as well as a lot of lovely trees and flowers and various plants. We also found this random black sand beach, and it was a little bit windy but super quiet because of the fact that no one was really stopping here. And there are tons of gorgeous outlooks all around the road to Hana, including great places to take pictures yourself. Now, I recommend that you keep going past Hana, as you are going to find this absolutely beautiful waterfall, which is probably the prettiest of the whole drive. And it also has a swimming hole in it. Now, you cannot swim in the 7 sacred pools, which is a little on further down the road, but it is a very beautiful stop, and this is just looking out the other direction from the pools. And still, keep going along the road. You are going to see a lot of beautiful scenery, such as this valley and the cow. Now, the second day, we just sort of piddled around, went to the ocean center, which, while nice, is not necessarily worth the price, but the Gypsy Road to Hana guide definitely is. Day 3, we pulled up to the Big Island on the Hilo side and did Volcano National Park. You do need to rent a car if you are going out to Volcano National Park. Again, we used Turo. And this is the Kilauea Iki Caldera, and it is a wonderful hike to do. However, the trail is very uneven, and you do have to climb down some very uneven rocks in order to get down into the caldera. So if that's not something that you're comfortable with, you will probably want to pick a different activity for your day in Hilo. This was actually my favorite part of the trip, so I do really highly recommend it. And here's just a shot of the active volcano. The next day is still on Big Island, but on the Kona side. We did do sea kayaking that I do not recommend. I highly, highly, highly recommend going to Heavenly Farms for coffee, as well as chocolate coffee covered magnets and chocolate covered coffee beans. 10 out of 10.
I read a book about them when I was a kid by Rudyard Kipling.
I think they brought her. Didn't they bring her to do the rasp?
Chickens are here, and chickens were killing the mice, and then they were like, we want to have less chickens and
chickens
something.
kill the mice?
Yeah, chickens will kill anything that's smaller than them.
Oh, yeah, I'd rather live with a bunch of chickens than a bunch of rats.
Well, yeah, that's how people felt, so they got chickens, and the chickens were running stuff over, and they were like, well, we still have a mouse problem, and we have chickens, so let's get somebody that eats both of them.
Thank
and they were like,
you.
monkeys. Not recording, there you go, now you're going. Now you're
really
on.
good.
Yeah.
That is good. Sorry to follow.
great suggestion. This is good. The last 2 days are on Kauai, and for our first day, we took Blue Hawaiian helicopters and did a helicopter tour, which I do highly recommend this. It was definitely worth the money, as we got a view that we could have never gotten otherwise. And you can see the Jurassic Park waterfall. And I'm going to try to stay silent for most of this because it's just really beautiful, and I'll just point out things that you should know. It is the canyons in particular that you are going to see that you definitely cannot access really any other way except by doing a helicopter tour. And Blue Hawaiian is actually the company that is used for a lot of the filming on Kauai, including Jurassic World. Now, the northern side has a lot of really beautiful beaches, and this is actually a lava tube that you can access via boat tour. And if you are a fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, here is where you might recognize from the movie On Stranger Tides. And now we are actually headed inside the mouth of the volcano, which is of course dormant now, but this was actually a really cool thing to get to do, and the film footage really does not do it justice at all.
It's the happiest thing you ever did in your life. Mickey Mouse move over. Yay! There we go.
After this, we actually just went back to the boat and read, but the next day we went out to Kauai Backcountry Adventures and did zip lining. Now, I am not one to jump off of a perfectly good platform, but this was honestly so much fun. There are 7 different zip lines that you go down, and this was really a great thing, and another thing that I would highly recommend doing if you are going on this cruise and going to Kauai. The second day on Kauai, you do have to be back to the ship early by 2 because you will end up cruising the Nepali coast, which is extremely gorgeous, and you definitely want to make sure to watch this as the boat goes by.
I mean, this is gorgeous.
We'll have one final Hawaii vlog talking about food, and that will be up next Saturday. I will have a fashion theme video on Wednesday, And I thank you guys for taking the time to watch this. Please make sure that you're subscribed, and I hope that you have a great rest of your day. Bye!